Evolution stars David Duchovny, Julianne Moore, Orlando Jones, and Sean William Scott, who struggle to save the Earth from a myriad of fantastic creatures created by Phil Tippett, the mastermind behind characters for Return of the Jedi and Jurassic Park.
Oh, wow. The show's about alien creatures, and they all have to be different and cool and realistic.
The special effects on Evolution were done at a pace that we've never done before. We basically had to final somewhere around 154 shots in about 27 weeks of production. So for us, that's an average of about 6 shots a week.
The challenge of this movie, Evolution, is that it's not about sort of just finding one dinosaur. It was about creating an entire evolutionary path full of creatures.
How strange or how abstract or how alien were these creatures going to be? I mean, we really didn't have any idea.
Come on. Come on, is it good?
They're mean. They're taking over the world.
These are some designs for the what we call the Walmart bird. Some of the designs started as somewhat traditional dinosaurs, like a pterodactyl. I mean, we cranked through a lot of drawings for this guy. This one's more like a turkey or chicken, crazy looking thing. Nowadays, we use a lot of Photoshop to speed things along. You know, take a picture of a sculpture, and instead of painting the sculpture in real life, you paint it in the computer. The tools have gotten better, so you can do that real quickly now.
It's got 2 heads. It goes this way and it goes this way.
Push me, pull you. Once those drawings are in place, we move to the next phase, which is to create some three-dimensional maquettes, or sculptures. And then those get all color coordinated and painted and exist as the finished objects as talking tools, so people can actually say, look at this tail, you know, here should be longer or bluer.
We will take that maquette and cut it into its individual pieces and make a scanning maquette out of that. So we'll end up with something like an arm and a tail and, you know, maybe the left arm or the right arm. And we'll take those pieces apart, make castings from the mold. This is a laser scanner which we have created here at our studio. A couple of our technical wizards have put this together for us.
Go! Go!
This was the hardest creature to design, just because it was the hardest to describe and the hardest to get a feel for. It wasn't so straightforward like, you know, Ivan said, I want something with a dozen legs and head on both sides. You can kind of deal with that. This was supposed to be, this is such an unknown.
It's just a huge amoeboid thing, and well, you know, what is that?
This is not just like an animal, it's more like a force in nature, like a big wind or a tidal wave. Ivan trusted Phil to make suggestions, and, you know, as they're shooting.
Feels too plastic looking.
Well, that we can deal with the
fleshy.
surface.
Once the basic design is completed and the model is scanned into the computer, it's ready for the art department, where it's modeled and painted.
And then we would pull a mesh, a nerves mesh over it. And that's the way we would construct our model from. Using his scan data as our sort of like a mold, we would then mold skin over that. They're not one continuous piece, it's actually many pieces put together. Some parts are by themselves, some parts have to fit with each other.
We basically have a digital representation of our maquette in the computer, except that it has no color or paint or anything like that. So the next step is to make sure that we can paint it, make it look like exactly like the maquette inside the computer.
The model comes in like this, and it's kind of more of a rough outline of what the thing actually looks like. And then what we do in displacement is give it the wrinkles and folds. These are more big folds and stuff on the head here. And then this one here is more the little tiny wrinkles and that kind of stuff. And we keep it separate so that if we have to change one aspect of one of them, it's easier to do than painting them all in one map.
While the model is being painted in the paint department, the scan model comes in here to the puppet department, and the puppeteers will rig a character setup or puppet for the creature. So for example, this is the big amoeba that we have for the end of the picture, and you can start to see here these little boxes and lines represent controls that they're just